A blessing is not a prayer. It is not a prayer. You may accompany it with a prayer if you like, but it is not a prayer. It's a statement. I speak health into your life. I bless you with the blessings of Isaac. It's specific statements. It may be written out in advance. It isn't necessarily going to be a string of scriptures. When you're talking about your children, now see, the father's role is to bless the children and the wife. Now that's a little strange for us men, especially here in America, because we've not been taught to bless anybody. We've been taught to curse our children. And we do it pretty regularly. You'll never amount to anything. I'll give you something to cry about. Some of those things have come out of my mouth. And it created just exactly what you spoke into existence. You can turn it around. I've seen it do some pretty marvelous things. I remember when Janet's father called her over the phone and gave her the first blessing she'd ever received from her father. I remember seeing what that did for her. We've seen it change the children. Blessings, not curses. From God's perspective, Genesis 48. Jacob blesses his son, Joseph, and his grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh. Although Manasseh was the eldest, Jacob made quite an issue of imparting the blessing of the right hand to Ephraim. The Lord made him do that. You'll see that in verse 14. The right hand of the male patriarch signifies the authority and the power of the blessing. That's why it's recorded in the Scriptures that Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father in heavenly places. Ephesians 1:20. It is also recorded that we who believe in Him are seated where? In heavenly places with the Messiah. So if He's sitting on the right hand of the Father and we're sitting with Him, where are we? On the right hand of the Father. He is our advocate. His blood covers our sin. That is a blessing. And see, it took away the curse. The blessing has the ability to remove the curse. Yeshua, our Messiah, imparted the blessing to children while He was on the earth. Then the little children were brought to Him that He might put His hands on them and pray to bless them. But the disciples rebuked them. Yeshua said, "Suffer the little children to come to me, and do not forbid them. For of such is the kingdom of God." And He took them up in His arms, and He put His hands on them, and blessed them. Mark 10:13 through 16. Like I was saying, imparting a blessing will reverse a curse. Yeshua said, "Bless those who persecute you." Why? Well, most Christians believe it is because we are to be exceptionally compassionate and forgiving. We should indeed walk in compassion and forgiveness that the Lord has imparted to us. But in this case, Yeshua was speaking a Jewish idiom. His Jewish disciples would have known. One of the things I love about what we've been learning with the Messianic movement is so much of what Yeshua did and said was seated in the Jewish culture. And until you begin to understand how the Jewish folks of that time thought, you can't possibly understand what he was talking about. Blessing those who curse you actually breaks the curse. Proverbs 18:21 says that there is power of life and death in the tongue. If someone speaks cursing words to you, don't retaliate with a curse. Soft answer turns away wrath. If you were cursed by family members, teachers, or peers with cutting words, such as "you're a loser," "you're nothing but a troublemaker," and many others we could think of, those must be reversed. You, as the parent, have the authority to reverse it. You know, if you as a parent are not speaking blessings into your children's lives, then no one is. You must begin blessing those who have despitefully hurt you. Most American adults suffer esteem and emotional problems because they have received the curses of others and have not known how to break the curse. I've seen numerous testimonies regarding children, teenagers, and adults who are failing at everything they tried, school, whatever. They were in rebellion. They had serious behavioral problems. Reversed that after receiving blessings for a period of time. They exhibited radical, positive changes in their life. It's never too late to receive a blessing. And it's never too late to give one. You know, you make a choice every time you open your mouth. What are you going to say? Will you talk about your wife behind her back? Will you talk about your husband behind his back? You know, I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that it comes back. Somehow or another, they know. It creates a distance between you. Those words, he or she may never know you said them, but you build a wall with your words. Only you can tear it down with blessings. Walls built by words. Remember the old saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me? Nothing, absolutely nothing could be further from the truth. Words are the most poisonous thing we have in our arsenal. Do you take time to bless your children? To speak things over them and to them that are good? What do you want to see in your children? You need to speak it into their lives. How about your grandchildren? What are you speaking into their lives? One of the things that Janet and I have noted, if you want a good marriage, speak it into existence. Be specific. Be specific. A general statement, I want a good marriage, isn't going to get it. This is what I want. This is what I see you in you. These are the characteristics, dear wife, that I see in you. These are the wonderful things that I like to help you develop. Have you noticed there's a generation out there right now called Generation X? Have you seen them walk in the streets with their head down? That's what happens when families break up. Not once, but more than once. Most of them have been involved in 3 or 4 families. And they've been cursed. Because I can tell you, from personal experience, the Brady Bunch is a lie. You can't bring 2 completely separate individual families together and have it work real well unless you just happen to be a miracle worker. Bless your children. Reverse the curse. If you love your children, fathers, love their mother. Find some way to bless your family. And those blessings will return to you. More than tenfold, I'm sure.